Does the narcissist not remember the abuse they cause? Or are they just lying? Welcome to the Divorce Sanctuary. I'm Elizabeth, author of Finding Lily and the A to Z of emotional abuse. On this channel, I talk about healing from emotional abuse and divorcing emotionally from the abuser. I want to remind you that love should be unconditional, and divorcing emotionally and healing the original wound is life-changing. And I want to help you understand and process what's happening inside you and help you discover the best tools to heal on a deeper level, becoming the best version of yourself. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you're returning, welcome back and thank you. If you have any tips that you think would be helpful to others, please add them in the comments below. This is not a diagnostic tool. I'm not going to say it's for entertainment purposes only, because there's nothing about this behaviour that's entertaining. If you believe that you are being manipulated, please reach out to a professional who can help you break away from the toxic relationship and help you set and keep strong boundaries. Does the narcissist not remember the abuse, or are they just lying? So you may have heard them talking to others and know that they're not telling the full truth. You might go to court and you hear them tell a different story to the one that happened. There might be a voice inside you screaming, "That didn't happen. I was the one who was hurt, not them." The emotional abuser changes the narrative to suit them. They can't take responsibility for their actions, so they change it. It wasn't them. They weren't there. And if it was them, they were forced to do it because of the actions of another person, turning it into your fault. Once those words have passed over their lips, they become the new truth. Like an etch sketch, they wipe what did happen, what they did. And to them, it isn't a lie because it didn't happen the way you said it did. And they gaslight to confuse you. And you might hear yourself thinking or saying, why would I lie about that? The abuser experienced trauma in their childhood. And you might recall in certain situations, they behaved like a child. They might have walked like a child. Their words were childlike. And this is their way of coping with life and protecting that damaged inner child. So they project and they blame shift. It's so deep-rooted now that behaviour is natural to them to protect the self above all. Where you might step forward making a mistake and say, "I'm really sorry, that was me." Something happened that stops them doing it. A choice that was made during their traumatic experience means that they chose in that moment to protect the child. They are so convincing and charismatic that people believe them. They have this ability to project their wounds onto others, their damaged inner child, no words needed, and these people rush to save them. You might have witnessed this at the end of the relationship. You've been left dazed and confused as to how everybody is rushing to support them, wondering how they do it with all the chaos that they have created. You are the real victim, but through the smear campaign, they have managed to gain attention. You might have been a threat to the abuser's inner circle, so they close ranks and protect the abuser, hurting you even further and fueling the wounds of not being good enough. We are all born believing we are the center of our universe, and our behavior proves that. We yell and we scream to get our needs met, and this is crucial for our survival. We alert our mother, our father, our caregivers to our basic needs of food and water, the need to feel more comfortable, or that we need to sleep, or we need some love and attention. And we go through various developmental stages that prepare us for life and the world that we are to live in. But toddlers who suffer neglect will leave this developmental stage without having completed it fully. And as they mature, they still maintain a toddler's self-perception. I've often described them as a damaged child. As you watch their behaviour, you'll actually see the age that this damage occurred. They are children in adults' bodies. But the young child having a tantrum isn't as scary as the adult behaving in this way. They still live in a world where they believe it revolves around them, constantly needing validation and attention. And they go on to spend their lives creating relationships and friendships where they will not be abandoned, because they were either abandoned at this stage or they experienced betrayal or shame and abandoned themselves. And the cherry on top for you is that during the relationship, they act like a car breaker's yard and they take all the good parts that are missing. They also take you back to an infantile state, round about 3 years old, probably younger, but you might not remember that. And you're left in control of your adult life as this child. And that child is running your emotions and your finances. It's in control of your physical and emotional well-being. The abuser walks away behaving like an adult, pointing at you saying, look what I had to put up with. Some are worse than others, but at the core, they have the same wound they are behaving from. And coming out of an abusive relationship is painful on every level. These wounds are real, but unlike a physical wound, you can't see the hurt or the pain. You might even hear people say, shouldn't you be over this by now? And then you wonder if the abuser was right and it is all your fault. There's something wrong with you. They told you people were worried about you. They made you believe this was all your fault. Despite you having hard evidence in front of you, you possibly still believe them. The abuser has learned how to project their wounds, and during the relationship, they will have given you their wounding. They project them onto you. They tell you how broken you are. They tell you what is wrong with you. Everything that they're missing, they take from you. And in return, they tell you, we are so alike. We have this same insecurity. We have these same wounds. You don't. They feel insecure, so they make you feel insecure. They are not whole, so they make you feel not whole. You will have had your own set of wounds. You had your own experiences as a child, and this is where your wounds will have been created. These are the original wounds. So just to summarize, the abuser experienced trauma in their childhood. And you might recall in certain situations that they behaved like a child. And this is their way of coping with life and protecting their damaged child. So they project and they blame shift. And once those words have passed their lips, they become the new truth. And like an etch a sketch, they wipe what they did. To them, it isn't a lie because it didn't happen the way that you're saying it did. They gaslight to confuse you. And you might even hear yourself saying or thinking, why would I lie about something like that? The 3 things that you can do today to help with your healing are learn some grounding techniques. I'll put a link to a video in the description box below. Breathing, box breathing. I'll also put a link to that. And having honest conversations with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, who will you be honest with? This is acknowledging how you feel. They've projected their damaged parts onto you. Ask yourself if these are your wounds. They've hurt you in ways that nobody else will understand. Be honest, have these honest conversations, asking where it hurts and what you can do and what you need, because those conversations will reveal more. And it is likely that if you want to reach out, it isn't actually the abuser that you want. It's just you need, or your damaged inner child needs, a bit of attention. If you found this video helpful in some way, please like and share and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to link my workbook, The Essential Criteria for Creating a Perfect Healing Plan, in the description box below as well. And this will help you pick up the pieces and help you acknowledge and help you self-correct, back onto the right course for your life. I'm sending you loads and loads of love.